Welcome to HealthWatch, presented by Novant Health. I'm your host, June Baker. Our show features local physicians and healthcare professionals discussing health topics of importance to local residents. Today, we will meet Dr. Delora Cummings of Novant Health's Carolina Shores office. Then we will hear about the latest in surgical services at Novant Health with leaders Cindy Parrott and Jonathan Haight. Finally, we will learn about Novant Health's new baby-friendly designation with Debbie Lambert and Belinda Phillips. Stay tuned to learn about valuable health topics with HealthWatch. First, let's welcome Dr. Delora Cummings of Novant Health Family and Internal Medicine, South Brunswick. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Cummings.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. And I'm so glad to have you in our community. I know you've been here a few months and you've joined Novant Health Family and Internal Medicine in South Brunswick. Is that right?
It is. It's a great practice.
I think it's really in Carolina Shores, and I usually say in Brunswick, but it is in Carolina Shores.
It is in Carolina Shores.
Yeah.
That's definitely where the address is.
Yes.
And that makes it easier to find.
It's kind of confusing, though. Some people think it's in Calabash and some people think it's in Carolina Shores, but it's right on that corner.
Right at the edge, right in between.
Right, yeah. But it's very visible.
Very visible, and it makes access easy because of location.
Absolutely. So we want to start today by learning a little bit about you, since you're kind of the new kid on the block.
I am.
Here. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about your education.
Well, originally, I am from New York. Yes, I am a Northerner, a Yankee.
A Yankee?
Yes, and that is very helpful down here, because it seems like almost everyone down here that I see is a Yankee. So that is awesome that I have that in common with many of my patients. I went to school in Albany Med in upstate New York, and I do not miss the snow. And after that, I also did family practice residency at Albany Med as well.
Well, great. So tell me about some of the places that you've worked. I know that you have been worked in several places.
I've had a nice, rounded adventure in my career, because I first started in the military, and I got to work in Hawaii at Tripler, and I was there for about 2.5 years. And then I ended the rest of my service at Fort Irwin in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So I went from beach with sand to sand without water. And so it was a variety of things, but it was great. From there, I've done some Indian health services, which was very rewarding as well. And when I finally settled in North Carolina, I worked for UNC for many years at Rex Hospital.
Oh, wow. That's kind of in our backyard.
It is. Everything's all connected. Rex is wonderful as well.
Wow, that is great. The military must have been very interesting. You got to go some great places.
I did get to go to many great places, which a lot of people don't realize how Hawaii is part of it, but it was probably one of the best places that I've gone to. It's actually the reason why I wanted to move back to the beach.
Really? Well, that's great, and we're happy that you're here. So, is the beach the only thing that brought you to this area?
Well, after living in Hawaii, which was beautiful beach, I wanted to be near the beach. I scuba dive.
Do you?
Unfortunately, I do not fish, and I don't golf. I know that is not a great thing here, but scuba diving is actually my main focus that I love to do.
Really? Have you been able to do that some since you've been here?
Not since I've been here.
Because you've only been here a few months.
I've only been here a few months.
It's on your bucket list,
It is definitely on my bucket list.
So when did you join the group at Carolina Shores?
I believe I started in May of 2018. So, and it was a very easy transition to come to this area and to start with this practice because it is a very welcoming practice and very friendly, very open, and all the patients have been very welcoming as well.
It is a very nice practice, and I love the office. It's pretty and it's just very nice and comfortable.
Yes.
And so, how do you like it so far, I guess?
So far, it's good. I've kind of been baptized by water. There's been a lot of rain, 2 hurricanes, more water than I ever thought that I was going to experience coming from the skies. I thought all the water was going to be on the ground, but instead I got baptized by water.
Now, I know that you're board certified in family medicine. Is that correct?
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
Tell me what that means.
It means that after you go through school and you complete your training, you sit for your boards that proves that you learned the information that is there, and then every 7 to 10 years you have to recertify with a board exam. And keeping that up to date just means that you have the breadth of knowledge because the information for medicine changes pretty much every year. And so being up to date on those things is what allows us to complete our board certification.
Does your office see children, or do you personally see children?
I see everyone. I see children probably from 4 weeks up. I also do well women exams, pap smears, breast exams, ordering mammograms, making sure that women have good health preventative care. If they have any concerns about their female areas, I'm definitely there to take care of that as well. And see patients all the way up through geriatrics.
Nice. So you see the whole family.
Yes, ma'am.
That works. That's great. So I heard a rumor that you have an adopted elephant.
I do.
Tell me a little bit about that.
My Pia is my
Pia?
5-year-old elephant. I had the luxury of going to Africa back in June for my birthday. And while I was there, I got to adopt an elephant. I got to feed him. I got to see him, take pictures with him. I even have a picture of him because he is adopted in my office, and you always have to have pictures of your family in your office. And so I have him, and I get updates on him probably every quarter.
Really?
Yes.
And how old is he?
He's 5.
5. How old did they get to be? Did they live really
60.
long? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, so you're going to have him a while.
At 5, you just get tusks when you're 2. So his tusks at 5 were about maybe 5 inches long.
Wow. Did they go to school?
They learn a lot of things. They actually follow a lot of rules and regulations. They were able to tell them what to do, and they were able to follow the directions. Not English directions, but in Kenya.
In Kenya. Well, that's awesome. You have a lot of interesting things in your life.
I know.
Yeah.
It helps to allow me to interact with people and know a lot of things that they do. And I also learn from all my patients. They've told me so many things of where to go, what things to do. And it has been just a pleasure learning from them.
That's great. Well, are you taking new patients?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Especially since I'm new here, I am happy to take all the patients that come our way. That's awesome.
And how can patients get hold of you if they'd like to make an appointment?
They can call Novant Health, Family and Internal Medicine, South Brunswick, and the number is 910-579-8363.
Well, Dr. Cummings, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show today. You're so much fun, and I think you'll be so successful in this area, and I can't wait to hear more about your adopted elephant.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I will definitely keep you informed about my Pia and his growth.
Great. Next, let's welcome Cindy Parrott and Jonathan Haight of Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center. Cindy and John, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day, I know, to join me here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I'm excited to learn about all the new stuff that's going on in the Novant Health Surgical Services Department. So first, I know that our viewers will want to know a little bit about you, so that's typically how we start. So Cindy, if you would go first, tell me about your role at the hospital and a little bit about your education.
Okay, so I'm the manager of surgical services. I'm originally from Virginia, so I attended Virginia Commonwealth University and have a bachelor's degree in nursing. I started my career in critical care. It was the surgical ICU, and that's where I had my first interaction with surgical patients and the recovery of surgical patients.
So you must like it because you stayed, right?
I do, yes.
Great. Likewise, John, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I'm the assistant manager of surgical services, so it's really a team effort between the two of us. But my primary focus is really in the operating room, because I spent my entire career there, my whole nursing career in surgical services. I graduated from a small community college. I'm from Pennsylvania originally, Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then I went back for my bachelor's degree from Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences.
Nice. So you left those cold climates to come to the beach, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You were smart. Cindy, when did you join Novant Health?
So I have been here a little over 2 years. I moved from the Greensboro area, and my family and I were vacationing here, and we're thrilled. Yeah, and we were thrilled when Novant built the new building, and I was eagerly awaiting for an opportunity to come work for Novant.
Great. Jonathan, how long have you been here?
I've only been here since May of this year, so I'm fairly new to the Novant family.
And so how are you finding it?
I love it.
You love the area?
Yeah, I've been in the area for almost 5 years, but only with Novant since May.
Great. Well, we're happy to have you. Well, I'm curious, Jonathan, what brought you to this area? Did you know about the beach? Did you know about this area?
Not really, actually. It's kind of a funny story where my wife and I knew we wanted to move south. We knew we wanted to live close to a beach, just because he said the weather in Pennsylvania isn't the greatest, so we wanted to come south.
Yeah.
And I was researching different hospitals and just, put my resume out there, and then I got recruited to a hospital in Wilmington, and I never heard of Wilmington. So we literally had to Google and see where is it? And I was like, oh, look at that. It's right by the coast, right near the beach. And so that's how I ended up here.
Wonderful. Well, glad to have both of you here. And over the years, we've had a lot of the surgeons and anesthesiologists on our show who've talked about the operating rooms and so on and so forth. But I wanted to talk with the two of you about surgical services overall and kind of the types of surgeries that are offered at Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center. So Cindy, do you want to lead that off for me?
Sure. So we offer general surgery procedures. That can range from appendectomies, gallbladder surgery, as far as even needing, bowel resections, that type of thing. We also offer ENT services, so tonsils, adenoids for children, urology, gynecology procedures. Vascular is new for us.
That's true, it is.
We are doing some vascular cases now. What am I forgetting? Cataracts.
Yeah. Orthopedics.
Orthopedics, a lot of orthopedics. We have a new procedure that is now available. We have a new gastroenterologist, Dr. Itzkowitz.
Yes, he's been on our show.
Perfect. So ERCPs, we're excited to be able to offer that. That's new for the community. That helps us keep people within the walls of Novant. So we're excited to have that. Am I leaving anything out?
Did you say dental, pediatric dental
pediatric
program?
dental.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dr. Lou, she's been on the show too.
Right, so that's a nice.
That is very nice.
Nice for the community.
I'm happy about that. Jonathan, I know that you spend a lot of time around the robot, the Da Vinci robot. So talk to me about some of the procedures that are done utilizing that piece of equipment.
Okay, we could really use the robot for a wide variety of procedures.
Really?
Could be like some general surgeries, GYN, urology, and No, it's a great piece of equipment because it's less invasive than traditional open abdomen procedures. So then that way the patient recovers faster, they have less pain, less blood loss, and lowers the risk of infection. So it's a really great thing to have.
And we're excited because we do have one of our doctors, Dr. Thompson, who he's now doing same-day hysterectomies using the robot.
Man,
so,
that's hard to believe.
Right. So that's really exciting that you can come in and have this minimal invasive procedure and go home the same day. I don't know that a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, it seems like such a big procedure, but when you reduce it down to with this equipment, it's like pulling out, cutting your hangnails or something. It's just that's amazing because I think they used to stay in the hospital about 5 days, and now you get to go home.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Talk to me about on-site anesthesia.
So anesthesia consists of anesthesiologists who are with Providence. That's the group that provides anesthesia services. But we do have Novant CRNAs, so there's a CRNA and an anesthesia provider for each procedure.
Great, and I understand that that's a great team.
Absolutely,
and they're on call. They're always here. There's never waiting for anesthesia.
No,
and that makes it really nice. So several of our guests have talked to us about the exceptional quality of care that they receive at the hospital, and I think that there are some efforts within your team to improve quality. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So for our bigger colon surgeries now, we work with our corporate partners, and we try to utilize protocols that are a standard across the nation. And we've just started using, it's called ERAS, it's Enhanced Recovery After Surgery.
I think I saw a billboard about that.
You should have.
Probably.
You should have. Yes, we're starting with colons. Big colon surgeries. That'll be the first group of surgeries to roll out. And what that does is it decreases length of stay. It maximizes patients' recovery time by decreasing narcotics, getting them up and moving. There's a lot of education done prior to surgery. So we're really excited about that. And we've partnered with the Med-Surg department because it really is a team effort between food and nutrition, the doctor's office, the Med-Surg nurses, physical therapy, all of those things combined. It really takes their length of stay to sometimes a single day to 2 days after these surgeries that they're able to go home.
And you say there's a lot of education, you mean of the staff? Jonathan, do the staff go through a series of...
Well, it's really patient education. It starts with your PAT visit when the patient comes in.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, they get all this education, and there's actually like drinks that they have. They drink those prior to surgery.
Really?
You kind of carb load.
Carb load, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's really like cutting edge stuff.
I need to know more about that. That's exciting.
Yeah. So it's so far we've had really great success with it. Hopefully this will be our first year of data that we're collecting.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So we'll have more to come on that.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure to have both of you here. It's always interesting to learn about new things like ERCP. And I hope you guys will come back because I know that there's growth in the future at Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center, especially in the surgical arena. So you guys will come back, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
You're quite welcome. Let's welcome Debbie Lambert and Belinda Phillips of Novant Health Women's Services. Welcome, Debbie and Belinda. What a pleasure to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I like to start the interviews by learning about my guests. So that's where we're going to start today. So Belinda, I'm going to start with you. So tell me a little bit about your role at the hospital and where you went to school.
I attended school in Stanley County. At the Stanley Community College is where I got my nursing. I just finished my Bachelor of Science in Nursing a couple years ago through Chamberlain University. I have been a nurse for 20 years. Did some, was the breastfeeding coordinator in Stanley County at their health department for several years. And after moving down here, working at this hospital as an RN, our administration saw the need for lactation here at the hospital. So I moved into that role and have been enjoying that for about 3.5 years now.
Great, that's awesome. And Debbie, how about you? What is your role at the hospital, and about your education?
Okay, I'm the nurse manager for the Women's Center, and my background in education is master's in nursing, and I received that in 2010 from Regis University in healthcare management. And my healthcare experience, I've had 34 years of healthcare and about 23 years of nursing.
Debbie, I understand that you have some really good news to share with our viewers today, right?
I do, yes.
And what is that?
We recently received our baby-friendly designation.
And tell me what baby-friendly means.
It means that our hospital now is, we provide a lot of information and education that is helpful in our moms being successful with breastfeeding their infants.
Wow, that's hard. Did you have to go through like a survey or something?
Yes, that is an amazing, comprehensive process for hospitals to go through, getting their baby-friendly designation. What we start out with is the administration backs us, and we send in a letter requesting to begin the pathway to baby-friendly designation. And throughout this pathway, one of the big steps is education for our staff. That includes not only the nurses, but the physicians, ancillary staff. We go through a lot of education to learn about the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. So these steps give us a guideline to go by for our mothers and families here at the hospital to assure them that they will have a successful breastfeeding experience here at the hospital. So after we've done the education with the staff, we are also educating our patients, our families, our mothers as they come in. And this begins as soon as they come in for their OBGYN visits. So as they enter for their maternity visit, they're getting breastfeeding education from the very beginning, which runs through their entire pregnancy, follows them into the hospital, and gives them a successful experience there.
So the benefit then to patients is the ability to know what to expect, is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as they're going through expectations for the hospital, for their experience, part of the 10 steps is we begin with the skin-to-skin contact. So right after this baby's born, we place the baby right there on mom's chest. So that's enabling that baby to regulate their temperature, their blood pressure, their heart rate, breathing.
I wondered what that was for.
Yes, even those blood sugar levels. We like them to stay there on mom with that skin to skin until they've completed that first breastfeed. And that is actually for all our babies, no matter how they're being fed. We like that skin to skin. Also, another thing that our moms can expect is rooming in. The babies stay in the same room with these moms the entire time they're at the hospital. We do the baths in the room. We're doing some of the procedures like the hearing checks and things like that in the rooms. Lab tests can be done in the room. So there's very few reasons that we would need to take a baby out of the room. And that gives them the opportunity to learn how to care for this baby. So as they're caring for this baby, they're becoming more comfortable and more confident to take this baby home.
And so that's all part of becoming baby friendly, right?
Yes, it's all part of those 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. Absolutely.
So they're all sort of intertwined. They're all, it all goes together. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the baby-friendly designation. I didn't know if that applied to like guests visiting, people visiting the hospital, or if it was all about the patient and the delivery. So
yes. Yeah, it kind of applies to everyone because as you're learning about what is healthiest for the baby, the families kind of learn also that we need to give them that time to be skin to skin, that we need to give the moms the ability to feed their babies when they see those hunger cues. And yes, because the family members are around, depends on the comfort of the mother. So we want, as we're giving education, then we can speak to families and say, well, this baby is hungry. See what they're doing?
Well, it seems like there are a lot more babies being born at Novant Health. Debbie, can you talk to me a little bit about that?
So we had a little record breaker last year for 2017. We went over our 500 goal to 516.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a lot.
Lots
Especially for this county. You know, we think of it as a retirement area, but those babies are coming from somewhere.
That's absolutely correct, yes.
That's awesome news. Since we're talking about babies, can you remind me about the OBGYN practice, who those physicians are?
So we have 4 practicing physicians there at the hospital, Dr. Bodenheimer, Dr. Shue, Dr. Thompson, and Dr. Toller. We also have a nurse practitioner, Sarah. They are there, and they are quite busy.
That's a great group. We've had them on the show, and they just do a wonderful job. But before we wrap up, is there anything else that you guys would like to add?
We would just like to encourage our families in Brunswick County to come see us here at Novant Health. Our experts are ready to help them give their babies a remarkable start.
Oh, that's sweet. What about classes? Do you do childbirth classes?
Yes, we're doing breastfeeding classes and childbirth classes. The breastfeeding classes are the 3rd Tuesday of each month at 5:30 p.m. They can call the office to register. Our childbirth classes are the 2nd Tuesday and Wednesday of each month, and they can also register at the office.
Great. Well, Debbie and Belinda, it's been a pleasure having you. I've learned a lot of new stuff today about being baby friendly. So I hope you'll come back and visit with us again.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Great. Thank you for tuning in to ATMC TV's Health Watch. I hope this information was beneficial for you and your family. If you have any questions or topics that you would like to see discussed on a future show, please email them to atmctv@atmc.com. Visit novanthealth.org for more information on Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center, local doctors, and general health information. Thanks again for joining us today. Be sure to join us next time for Health Watch on ATMC TV.
This is ATMC TV, your community channel.
It begins with a click, and just like that, you are immersed in a world of wonder, education, entertainment, information. Connect with family and friends from around the block or around the world. So when it's time to connect, ATMC will be there to make it happen. Now offering speeds up to 1 gig. Because at ATMC, it's all about you.
At ATMC, it's all about you. So when you build your own bundle at atmc.com, you get exactly the services you want, like blazing fast internet with speeds up to 1 gigabit per second, more than 200 channels of digital cable, unlimited nationwide calling, plus the safest home on the block. At ATMC, you get faster speeds, more choices, and bigger savings, because it's all about you. Build your bundle today with ATMC.
ATMC Security is changing the way you connect with your home, making it safer, smarter, and more efficient. Now you can manage your home wherever you are with a single app. Lights, locks, thermostats, 24-hour security monitoring, and more, which means you always come back to a safe, comfortable home. Monitoring services start as low as $17.95 per month. Make your home a smart home with ATMC Security.
What business are you in? Building, growing, life-changing. Let us introduce ourselves. We're in the speed business. No, not that speed. Up to 1 gigabit per second speed. Enough speed for this, this, and this. Speed that delivers orders, big orders, change your tax bracket orders. Ready for takeoff? Let's do some business. Get up to 1 gig of business class broadband with business Wi-Fi, all backed by 24/7 customer support. Add business phone and save even more. Call ATMC today.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now uses 7 wireless devices a day, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get speeds up to 1 gig with high-speed internet from AT&C. It's a speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.